Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Abxylute. Now that is just how I think you say it. It is Abxylute. When I brought this over to my family's for the holidays, we kind of couldn't figure out what you would call it, and I think we all settled on Abxylute. So if I am wrong, feel free to correct me down below. But this is not something that I typically review. Most of the time it is handhelds that fully power the games themselves. This is a cloud device, so very, very, very thin, very lightweight, and honestly one of my very first times using a device like this, and I wanted to give you guys my opinion on it. So I want to get a couple things out of the way right now, and it's first just things to improve on before we get into the good stuff. I like to save my dessert for the end. I just want to go over a few things that weren't necessarily my favorite. So first things first, the sticks here are more reminiscent of a Nintendo Switch, if you guys have felt that before. So they are Hall effect, I will say that, so they have that going for them. But as far as the actual joystick themselves, very small. And if you try playing any shooter games, it can be very difficult at times to actually get like a very precise shot. And we can get into that a little bit later. But so the joysticks for me definitely did bring this down just a little bit, but we have to keep in mind that this is only $200 right now. So instead of spending $700 on like a Legion Go, you could spend $200. And if you already have a pre-existing computer like I have over there, I've got a 4070 Ti with a i5 13600K. So I have a pretty decent computer, so something like this actually is a viable option for me. You can go a little bit harder in with the price range for a computer and then save some more by getting a device like this. But so Steam Link for me was probably my favorite, but the other things that I wanted to bring up really quickly for you guys was the actual triggers themselves, and this is just my hands, and this is me reviewing it, so I'm going to be showing you guys. Whenever you pull down on the right trigger, see if it picks it up. The corner right there can be kind of sharp, and it definitely does, like it is noticeable when you're holding the trigger like that. And the other thing with the bumpers, if you hold the bumper like this and you press, you have to press it right here, and that comes from the middle of your finger. If you want to hold the device like this and click, the top of the buttons aren't, it's like a hinge almost. So right here is where the plastic starts, and the button is probably somewhere down here. And the click doesn't register like most of the time up here. So that's just something I wanted to tell you guys. Just because why not, right? Like if we're going to be talking about the device, they're claiming on their websites fantastic ergonomics, which I definitely do agree with. On the back side here, this shape fits my hand like very, very well when you're actually like holding on to the device. This might be a good time. It's got expandable SD card storage here, regular 3.5 headphone jack, USB-C charging. Now, one other thing, placement of the USB-C port has always been something that's important to me as someone who likes to play in bed and you just set this on your belly or something. Having this USB on the bottom definitely does take away from that, and it kind of changes the way you have to play. Maybe you have to lay on your stomach now and hold it up. But we can get into the battery life too. That it's phenomenal. I'll be one of the first people to say it if no one says it. The battery life on this device was incredible. Coming from playing the Ally extensively, you're looking at maybe 2 to 3 really good hours of like light gameplay and 1.5 hours for something like Cyberpunk with medium to high settings. Yeah, where this is just streaming, there is way more potential here for game time, and it holds charge like no other. I just pulled this out of the bag, out of this included carrying case, which is actually really a nice thing to do, especially for something like this, which is on like Kickstarter, like Indiegogo, stuff like that, where there might not be third-party stuff to pick up right off the bat. That was a really nice thing to have included. But the battery life was phenomenal. Now I'm gonna load this up here and pull up a game. My favorite thing was Steam Link on here. I think that's where this excelled. And let's see if we can get a game pulled up here. Now, Steam Link isn't perfect, and neither is Xbox. You definitely do have to have some patience. I don't say that it is necessarily, sorry, that's my computer. It's not necessarily the device's fault. These things just aren't perfect. So let's see if we can get this first try working here. I'm on my computer screen right now, getting everything. So see how it's mirrored there. And the latency is actually not bad with Steam Link. Now I can't say the same for Xbox Cloud. That one is definitely not my favorite. Hopefully the fan sound from my PC isn't too bad, but normally, right, the idea is my PC's in here on while this device, and it also looks like this on my computer screen. It's not the Wi-Fi chip here. We're just letting stuff load up. Let's turn up the volume here. Perfect, there we go. Keep in mind, right, like how thin that is. All right, let's see where we left off. I think I was in a car chase, but we'll just have to see. The speakers are all right. Definitely don't expect like Steam Deck or Asus, like the ROG quality here. But I mean, they're all right for a $200 device. I mean, the speakers are definitely, I'm not looking for anything with like Dolby Atmos support or really anything like that. But I think they do good. And one thing that this has right now over the Ally or the Steam Deck, this looks incredible. I really hope this comes through, but this really does look incredible. The only drawback is delay. And that's not really anything. The Wi-Fi chip is I believe it's Wi-Fi 6E. This is a 1080p 60 hertz refresh rate display. So we're pretty much as good as we can get. I'm about 4 feet away from my computer right now. And even when I go to a different room, maybe a different house, it still is pretty good. But you can still see milliseconds wise, I'm not entirely sure what that delay is, but it's definitely noticeable. But if you're not playing like a purely shooter game, it's definitely manageable. Let's walk around here, show you guys some more. And I'd say for me, one of the things that I have tried doing to get the something's bugging out over there. To get rid of some of like the delay and noticing it so much, when you play a story game, just turn your sensitivity down quite a bit. Oh boy. I don't know if it's playing copyrighted music or not, so we'll just turn that down really quick. And definitely like shooter games are probably not the best thing in the world to play on a streaming device. I've tried Forza before and other games like that, and those do run really well. It's a lot harder to notice the delay, but I'll just play around on this just for another minute or two. Maybe I'll just die here. And then I'll pull up Forza on Xbox. But I mean, I really hope this is coming through. This is like almost a solid 60 FPS, and it looks fantastic. Oh, I'm really hurt. I think as an alternative, this is probably the best you're going to get. And I know that there are some competitors out there that are very similarly priced, and those are also very good. I'm not saying that this is the best thing in the planet, as I've not tried every single one of them, but for a first-time cloud user, I'd say $200 for something like this with 8 to 10 hours of battery life, decent speakers, I mean, a relatively pretty screen. I think that the color accuracy on a screen like this is very, very good. And I think now would be a good time to show you that yes, it is doing it for both. But let's go ahead and close this down really quick. I know this is getting kind of long for you guys. We'll just show off. That was Steam Link, and that's my preferred. I know I've said that before, but I definitely do think that the image quality on Steam Link is just way superior because it's your actual computer that's way closer than who knows how far away some of these other like whatever is powering the cloud gaming is. And I'm not doing any cuts. I want you guys to see this raw and real, how long this takes. It might even ask me to log back in, which would be annoying, but hopefully not. Okay, perfect. We're right in. And this can do emulation. I'm just not like a really big fan of older games, if that makes sense. I'm mostly just here for seeing how far these devices can push AAA titles. But there's probably an entire community of people who are the complete opposite and just want emulation. But let's see if we can show off how it feels to hold. Not bad. It honestly holds on like really well, and it's got this, I don't know if you can see that all that well. It's kind of like a PlayStation 5 controller if you've ever held something like that before. Really not bad. And definitely the queue here takes way longer if you're not a Game Pass subscriber. If you just wanted to buy this device just to play Fortnite off of, you're probably going to have like a 5 to 10 minute wait each time you want to load into Fortnite. I had a buddy of mine who was in Korea for a while, and he didn't have anything other than just like an iPhone 6 or 7, and he would play Fortnite all the time, but there's a substantial queue that you have to wait in. Now, the reason that is there is beyond me. Huh. Can I just push it up? Oh, I'm scared. Yeah, why? That's unfortunate. Well, hopefully it doesn't do that again. I might actually have to make a cut here, guys, but I guess we'll see. I don't know why the bar up there was staying in with the game. And I know some of you guys want like an easier to digest video, something that's like pretty short. You can just get in and out. But if you're seriously considering buying something like this, these are like the little hiccups and stuff that you run into that I think that a lot of content creators really like avoid. Oh, and we're right back in. Okay. Well, hopefully there's not any copyrighted music, but I'm probably 100% sure that that is. But yeah, all these little hiccups and stuff, since this isn't a console, this is just running the latest version of Android, you're definitely going to see some hiccups and stuff where you might not see if you're playing on just a regular Xbox or if you're playing on the Steam Deck or something. And I guess we'll see here how long this takes to load. Hopefully it's fairly quick. Great, perfect. Let's get driving. Oh. Wow, this might honestly be taking longer to load than a Xbox One. Okay, there we go. That's a really good way to check the delay there. Let's see how this translates into actual driving. Not bad. I'd say this is probably rendering at like 800, 900p. Not quite 1080p, but very close. You're able to tell just like on the edges. But we're still, look at that. That is a very, very smooth image. I'd say for $200, you're not really going to get image quality like this anywhere else. As far as like any device that's like rendering it itself. I mean, this is very, very nice. Just a little bit of delay. And honestly, back when I used to play Xbox, if you have like a really big like 70, 80 inch 4K TV, the delay can get pretty similar to something like this. You just get used to it over a few hours of playtime. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I know this wasn't probably as much gameplay as a lot of you guys wanted. I wanted to really show off the actual device itself. The buttons have a nice feel to them. There wasn't really anything to complain about there. It was mostly just for me the joysticks. The bumpers and the triggers had a kind of weird placement for me and shape. But other than that, I definitely do think if you're looking for a device like this, I don't think that you're going to have a bad time. I'm going to leave a link down below. At the time, I don't believe it's affiliated or I'm just going to be putting the basic link down for you guys if you want to check out their website. But all love to them for sending this out to me. I always do appreciate when companies do, like just on a whim, want to send me something out to check out. And I really do appreciate them doing that so I can make this video for you guys. But hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. It's almost the weekend, and game on, you guys.